bring everything but the hog. I think we eat nothing but grass, what you talking about? I'm about to jump into the whip and hit the Whole Foods early. Get everything to get that soul food working, like mac and cheese, the collard greens, the black eyed peas, and get a roast of that tofu turkey. Got cornbread, even got stuffing. Mashed potatoes so good, put your hand in it. String beans, and you know we got yams with it.
Welcome back, all you compassionate souls, spreading love in the tofu cube of truth all around the world. Today is a very raw, open and honest and hard-hitting video, guys. It really is. As you know, this past week, the 10th of October, it was Mental Health Awareness Day. So knowing about the eating disorder that I've obviously struggled with for over 20 years, which actually started with the loss of my mum in 1997, I actually went away to Australia to visit my family on a 6-month visa. I was away down to a very low weight, and I don't want to mention numbers to trigger everybody, but as I arrived back on home turf at Glasgow at the airport, I actually suffered a massive heart attack, guys, and I actually passed away for over 6 minutes. And after that, I was actually in a potassium coma for over 3 months, and that was when I was actually diagnosed as having an eating disorder in the year 2000. So it took me 3 years of hiding it, basically not accepting I had an eating disorder. Then I obviously got to the stage where I realised I had an eating disorder, and then I hid it from everyone, because this eating disorder voice we always talk about, it's not like an external voice that somebody with schizophrenia suffers with. This is your rationalised thoughts. It's your thoughts actually arguing with your rational thoughts. So it's an irrational side versus the rational side. So your eating disorder will tell you everything under the sun, basically to make you think that you're not worthy of life, and that if you live by its rules and its orders, that you're going to have this life that you desire and everything's going to be great. But at the end of the day, guys, it's not. It just leads you into the depths of an eating disorder. You gradually lose everything. You lose your family, your friends, and then, as sad as this can be, guys, you can lose your life, because it takes everything from you. Like I say, you just get stuck in that mindset, and it becomes your identity almost. You don't want to do anything. All the things that you love, such as your art, anything that you're passionate about, like your sport, anything at all, everything becomes an obsession and basically like an over obsessive compulsive disorder, because a lot of people with OCD actually do suffer with eating disorders as well. It goes hand in hand, like I say, the behaviours as well. That's why a lot of people suffer with borderline personality disorder as well, guys. All these things go hand in hand. Like I say, everything becomes a ritual and orders around the eating disorder. So I'm actually get sent this great book by Spela Kranjec, as her name is. She suffered an eating disorder for over 9 years. She actually suffered it twice. Her actual book is called My 9-Year Struggle Against Anorexia, Notice Me. The book on the back actually says, this girl wrote such a book that who would never even consider that this girl actually had anorexia. How, if she's so smart, commented an acquaintance who read the book, and he was right. He was reading a book written by a girl who would never have suffered from anorexia, never again. But this very girl suffered with anorexia for many years. This girl is me, and this is my story about anorexia and how I finally learned to be happy. Do you have an eating disorder? The professor's question suddenly hung in the air. Everyone was quiet. All our eyes were open on everyone, on me. Everyone was waiting for my response, even though everyone already knew. Stunned by the question, I shrank in my chair and nodded. It's true, I had anorexia, twice in fact, for 9 years, even if I wasn't aware of it at the time. But now I am okay. I am living proof that I can ultimately be beaten and that you can have a normal life. It's very, very true, guys. Like I say, eating disorders have the highest mortality rate of all mental illnesses. Obviously, a lot of people pass away because of the complications suffered with eating disorder. Like I say, when you start obviously restricting your calories, your body uses all its natural resources, such as your heart muscle, because it thrives on the muscle. It uses every single resource it has to fight for your life. So you can obviously suffer heart attacks. Like I say, potassium gets lost through obviously vomiting and such like, so your potassium actually regulates all the salts in your body that obviously regulate your cardiac arrhythmia, so you can suffer from obviously a heart attack as well, guys. A lot of people even suffer from brain damage, osteoporosis as well, which is brittle bones. There's so many things, but actually a lot of people with eating disorders actually end up committing suicide, guys, because they just can't go on with this life. Like I say, recovery is real, recovery is possible, you are worth it, you are beautiful, guys. Like I say, in my opinion, recovery is like being born again. Every single day is a new thing that you lost through your eating disorder. Yes, you'll probably not be the same person you were before, but you can create a new you, a better you, a lovely you, because you are special, you are worth it. Don't let your eating disorder tell you otherwise, guys. So just going to read you a little bit of a few pages from this book, but you can actually get the free chapter, which I'll put down in the link in the description below. But here we go, reading a little bit of what Spela Kranjec actually says. She says, "Shouldn't we stop just for a moment, think about all our positive traits and be happy for them? Aware of how good a person we actually are. With this, I am okay. We could head out into the world without dwelling in what's not okay with us, devote ourselves to others as they are, and not seeing others as boxes filled with traits that we don't have but desire. We could leave egotism and jealousy behind, and trust me on this one, we could feel and would feel much better. We would give others our O's that would accept it, sharing their own okay with us, and we would accept it. This way we would fulfill each other, help each other solve problems, and most importantly, we would be connected to each other. We would be much more connected than we are now in this hectic, chaotic world which doesn't even let us take a break, drawing from us only egotism, envy and hate. Think of all the people you're envious of the people you've talked about behind their back, the people you bad-mouthed, you probably run out of fingers, counting those you don't like or maybe even say you hate. Think about all the people you lost because of this. I actually lost a good friendship. I almost lost another. Only because jealousy and envy. Is it really worth it? I'll let you answer this by yourself. I do hope you won't repeat my mistakes. I now know that it's not worth it. I soon forgot about her words and I kept using the bottle. My need was greater than my shame. I had to stop myself from gaining weight. My mum's aunt was preparing large meals and I was terrified of putting on weight. I also started exercising a lot. I bought my inline skates. I also started for at least 1 hour exercising a lot. I was skating as fast as I could, even uphill. My aunt and my locals admired me for it. They couldn't believe how anyone could have so much stamina. This made me even prouder of my actions, making it even more important to maintain my fitness. Once, when staying with my aunt, I tried to vomit right there in her bathroom. I didn't even know she and her husband were there. I didn't care who can hear me through the open window or even see me. My stomach was so full I had to empty it. This was additionally exasperated by 1/4 of the laxative bottle that I gulped down just moments ago and which only failed to have any effect. I didn't vomit again. When I gave up trying, I climbed into the bath, opened the hot water tap, cuddled into a ball and cried. Once again I was about to go to sleep stuffed. This girl wrote such a book that you would never even consider that this girl had anorexia. How if she's so smart? And this is the back bit that I just read you guys. It's true, I had anorexia twice, in fact, for 9 years, even if I wasn't aware of it at the time, but now I'm okay. I'm living proof that I can ultimately be beaten and that you can have a normal life as well. How can you do it? Yeah, just think about it, guys. Like I say, 10% of males actually have eating disorders, so I think there's a lot more males as well, but like this girl was actually saying, there's this stigma around eating disorders being all about this self-loathing and basically an attention-seeking illness. That's far from the truth. Like I say, there's so much more of a demographic of eating disorders and why they actually start. There's many things in life, like obviously being genetically predisposed to it. Something in your life actually triggers it. Like I say, obviously when you go into calorie deficit, that actually triggers the eating disorder. So there's a lot of science out there saying that you can be predisposed to an eating disorder but actually trump those genetics, but actually not going into calorie deficit. Because like Tabitha Farrar always talks about, it's like that flight or fight response. Basically what actually happens is when you start going into calorie deficit, just like we did way back in the caveman days, you would emigrate to look for food. So your mind actually goes into that emigrate mode, and basically you start to exercise a lot because you want to look for food. This is what actually happens with eating disorders, guys. You can recover, it is worth it. I'm actually going to go and show you some of the eating disorder statistics in the UK and just how prevalent these are, guys. Like I say, I've suffered with this for 20 years. There's ups and downs, recovery is not linear, like this Spela Kranjec, she's actually saying she suffered it twice. I've actually suffered from 3 relapses, and my eating disorder was all based around grief, guys. So something in my life, like the loss of my mum, my wife's ovarian cancer when she actually suffered 4 miscarriages, then the loss of my dad. Now I'm still recovering, I've still got quite a good bit to go, but like I say, I'm fighting every day and I will recover because I've done it before for over 6 years before I met my wife. Like I say, don't ever give up. Speak to whoever you can, whether that be a family member, a friend, even online peer support groups. If you're in the UK, B-eat in the UK is one that's absolutely amazing, guys. They do an awful lot of online peer support. You can actually speak to people that's going through the very same thing as you are. And See Me Scotland's another one, guys. And obviously National Eating Disorder Association, if you're in America, is another one. And like I say, they're all there to support you in any way. Speak out to your doctor, whoever. Just get the help you need, because the quicker you can obviously get a diagnosis, the more likely you're actually going to have a full recovery and without any health implications involved, guys. So I'm going to take you onto the laptop and I'm going to show you some eating disorder statistics as well. So guys, as I was just saying, this is B-eat in the UK. So if you're actually in the UK, the helpline is 0808 801 0677. Like I say, if you're a youth line, it's 0808 801 0711. They're an amazing group. I'm actually an ambassador for B-eat in the UK, so I do an awful lot of media work. Like I say, eating disorders, how many people in the UK actually have an eating disorder? They actually say that they believe approximately 1.25 million people in the UK have an eating disorder. Let's say the Clinical Excellence estimates around 11% of them are affected by an eating disorder and male. So I think there's an awful lot more of that, guys, because a lot of males, just like myself, don't come forward because it has this stigma of being a white girl privileged illness. A lot of people just don't understand eating disorders. Like I said earlier on, they think it's all for attention and they think it's all about a diet. Like I said, people don't go on a diet and then with the intention of actually having an eating disorder. You've got to be predisposed to it, and it just leads you down that path and it becomes an obsession. Like I say, recent research from the NHS Information Centre showed that up to 6.4% of adults displayed signs of an eating disorder. Adult Psychiatric Morbidity Survey 2007. So which eating disorder is actually most common? The latest version of the DSM, which is the Diagnostic Statistic Manual of Mental Disorders, cites that the main eating disorders are anorexia, bulimia and binge eating disorder, which is BED, eliminating EDNOS, which is eating disorder not otherwise specified. Before the latest change in the diagnostic criteria, it was estimated that those with eating disorders, 10% were anorexic, 40% bulimic, and the rest fall into the EDNOS category, which included BED. And that's what I want to say to you guys. Don't ever look at somebody and say that person can't have an eating disorder just because for all intensive purposes they look as if they're at a healthy weight, because that's not what it's about. It's about the mental anguish that that person's going through. Don't ever also think that just because you don't come under the criteria for the underweight BMI that you don't warrant treatment. Like I say, you can be at your most illness at any time. Eating disorders, they destroy lives, guys. They take lives. So any eating disorder requires immediate attention and help that you can. So like it says here, also as well, which I was talking about, what age do people actually suffer eating disorders? It says that although many eating disorders develop during adolescence, such as myself, around about that teenage, 17 years old, it is not unusual for people to develop eating disorders later in life. It says here even women in their 70s have been diagnosed with eating disorders. Like I say, this world that we live in, all about diet information all out there all the time, and the perfect body, how a man and woman should look. This is how it actually starts, guys. They're actually telling you, is it possible to recover from eating disorder? Yes, we're lucky enough to work with some severely inspirational people, and here's some uplifting stories of research and recovery. Research shows that around 46% of anorexia patients fully recover, 33% improving, and 20% remaining chronically ill. So like I say, it takes many keys to unlock the door for eating disorder recovery. Like I say, you've got to try treatment quite a lot of different times, and sometimes people can just click with that therapist and it works, guys. So don't ever think that just because treatment didn't work one time, or a certain type of treatment didn't work one time, that it's not going to work for you. Like I say, just try everything, guys. Certain things work for certain people, and like I say, recovery isn't linear. So if you feel that this bump in the road and you feel you've had a relapse, don't ever think that you're not going to recover. Just get up the next day, get straight back into recovery and keep fighting, guys. It's worth it, and it does happen. So like they're saying here, eating disorder statistics, they're actually talking about as well. It's quite amazing to think, like I say, it says eating disorders including anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, binge eating disorder, which may also be known as eating disorders not otherwise specified, are responsible for more loss of life than any other mental health condition, and unfortunately are becoming increasingly more common over the last 30 to 40 years. It's really terrible, guys. Let's say 1.6 million, like I talked about, in the UK are suffering from an eating disorder. 11% of them are actually male. Eating disorders are more common in individuals between the ages of 14 and 25-year-olds. There are up to 18 new diagnoses of bulimia nervosa per 100,000 people per year. Wow! 1 in 100 women aged 15 to 30 are affected by anorexia nervosa. 10% are actually affected by an eating disorder, suffer from an anorexia nervosa. 40% are actually eating disorder, suffer from bulimia nervosa. The rest obviously fall into binge eating disorder and otherwise specified eating disorders. Research suggests that eating disorders are treated early is sought, the better the sufferer's chance, just like I talked about, guys. So yeah, that's the kind of thing that we're actually facing, guys. But what I'm actually going to show you, Spela Kranjec's actual website, which is actually talking about the book as well, guys. So as you can see, a story, it says every goal can be reached, even if it's your highest one, happiness. Have you ever asked yourself how it would be like if nobody liked you and you were all on your own? I was there. Many nights I fell asleep in tears with a voice in the back of my mind that wanted so badly for all of this to end. because in the end I am only a 20-year-old girl who can't do all of it on her own. I was a simple girl with one wish: to fit in and be happy. Why did it have to be so hard for me and so easy for others with barely any will to live? I decided that I will do everything in my power to make this wish come true. It really hurts, guys. Like I say, like she's talking about there, she says she actually wrote this book. She says she thinks they can learn plenty from a girl who battled from anorexia for 9 years. I have a story that inspires and changes lives, a story intended for all who are battling an eating disorder and those who aren't. So this is why she wrote the book, just as we all do, guys. It's to spread awareness, let people know that eating disorders aren't all about this looking for attention, and that recovery is possible. What she actually says as well, guys, she's actually got a Kickstarter that will actually be planned for around the 1st of December this year, and she would love to see all you people support it, and I would love to see it as well, guys. And what will actually happen is the book will actually be 30% cheaper on the Kickstarter as well. And like I say, it would really mean the world. I'll put all our links for all our website and our social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter as well, and obviously the website as well, guys. Please go and check it out. Give her all of the support you can. Like I say, these kind of books actually saves lives and let people know that eating disorders are out there, and it's okay to actually not be okay sometimes, and actually to speak out about it and get help, and that recovery can be possible. I would love if you guys could go and support it as well. Please let me know in the comments below if you've got any stories you would like to share. If you're going to check this out as well, it would mean the world. Remember, as always, binge on life, purge negativity and starve guilty feelings, and be kind to every kind. The only difference is your perception, and I'll speak to you all in the next video, guys. Much love as always. Binge on life, purge negativity and starve guilty feelings. Speak to you all soon and love you so much.